What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to be talking about a few different horror topics in this video here today. We'll be talking about Scream 7. We'll be talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Insidious 6, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, starting off here with Scream 7, Asa Germann discussed the film with Collider recently. This looks like it was mostly due to him promoting Gen V Season 2, which I have completely slacked on and need to get around to watching. But he said being a part of the Scream movies is really one of the coolest things I've gotten to do, especially getting to join it right when Kevin Williamson, the creator, took over and has now stepped in to direct the first one he's ever done. Getting to do that with all those incredible, iconic, amazing people was like a dream come true. I can just say with the utmost certainty that the movie is going to deliver across the board for any fan of the Scream franchise. Now, of course, he's going to say that, and of course, he's going to be excited. He's supposed to be playing Anna Camp's son, so I think he's supposed to be, what is his name, Lucas, Logan, one of the two, might be Lucas, might be neither. There are so many code names I can't remember, but he's supposed to be playing Jessica's son. A lot of people are thinking he might be the killer. He was described as being a weird next door neighbor, something of akin to Ted Bundy, I think is what his description described him as. So we'll see if he's a cryptic character. A giant red herring is what I think he'll end up being. And yeah, we'll go from there. I will say that if you're someone who is trying to hone in on who the secret cameo could be, because there has been a couple of shorts that I've seen online where a creator is claiming they had some conversations with a few people and they let it slip up that there's a cameo or a cast member that has not yet been announced for Scream 7. And all I can say is if you're someone who's trying to like pin down who it could be, if you look at Scream 6, you can find that person on the board that Kirby and Bailey are looking at together. It's one of the people on that board. It is not going to be anyone else. As far as like what I'm hearing, it is someone on that board. And as far as like Emma Roberts, as of now, I'm not saying this can't change, but from what I'm hearing, any plans to include her in the movie did not come to fruition. There was a plan to include her and she is not going to make the cut. Now, if she ends up in the film, that's fine. I'm just telling you what I've heard as it pertains to Jill Roberts. She did not make the cut. They wanted to have Jill included in something, and Emma Roberts is not going to be in the movie. That's what I'm hearing as of now. But let's touch on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So Deadline reported this yesterday. Sources say that A24 is winning the film and TV rights for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which were up for auction and had a handful of bidders. First up would be a series from JT Mulner, Roy Lee, and Glenn Powell, though the latter star will not star, as we previously told you. Now, apparently the deal hasn't closed yet, but A24 has the pole position. Another source close to the deal tells us that this is all premature. Now, I believe Jeff Snyder was actually the first person who reported this, so scoop confirmed for him, I guess. All I can say is I knew something was going on with JT Mulner. JT Mulner's remarks all but indicated he is going to have a hand in what comes next with Leatherface. I really want to see what he can bring to the table, even if it's just him producing. The fact that he's involved with it makes me confident that we will get something of quality that will blow that Netflix movie that we got a couple years back out of the water. If you have not yet again checked out Strange Darling, please do yourself a favor and check that out. This person is the perfect fit when it comes to Leatherface and reviving this IP in a way that again will wash away the poor taste that was left in many of our mouths from how they not only just kind of executed the entire film, not that the entire film was just complete dud altogether, but definitely the Sally Hardesty aspect. We need something to wash that out of our mouth, because the way they used Sally Hardesty was so trash, and ironically, she ended up in the trash by the end of it. Did she not? It's been a while since I watched that movie. But I hope A24 secures this. I hope JT Mulner gets to be involved. And Glenn Powell, I hope he does actually star in it. Although the reports are indicating he will not star in it, I want to see Glenn Powell in the Texas Chainsaw universe. Now, let's talk about Insidious 6. Lynn Shay and Amelia Eve are confirmed to star as leads in Insidious 6. This was confirmed over the last couple of days. Amelia Eve's role is again rumored to be the single mom that I told you about. She's going to be terrorized by her neighbors, who are supposed to be named, I think, Lester, Patsy, and Edna, which could be code names. But as of now, this is expected to be another prequel, especially if Elise is back as a headliner. So many people were quoting the tweet I put out, and all I can say is, yeah, she did die in the first movie. So how could she be back as a lead? Well, that's because that should tell you they're just doing another prequel. They've done it before, and they're doing it again. From what Nexus Point News put out, this is supposed to be a prequel to the first movie. So that's the only logical way that Elise could be back as a lead again. They've done prequels to the first movie anyway, so it's not, again, all that shocking. So we'll see Elise back in full effect. I neglected to gush over Amelia the other day, but I absolutely loved her work in Bly Manor, one of the most heartbreaking performances I've ever watched. I adored her chemistry with Victoria, who played her on-screen love interest. I look forward to seeing her on the big screen next year for this, because I haven't seen her in too much since Bly Manor. If there's other things she starred in, please let me know, because I've been dying to see more content from her. And if you're not familiar with Amelia Eve, just go watch Mike Flanagan's The Haunting of Bly Manor. If you're someone who's a Mike Flanagan fan, you probably are already going to click just for me saying Mike Flanagan. But Amelia Eve is an underrated performer, and I cannot wait to see what she brings to the Insidious franchise. We also had the director confirmed, Jacob Chase. It's supposed to be filming out in Australia, so fingers crossed this goes well, and it's supposed to drop in theaters next August. So fingers crossed that Insidious 6 is another, let's say, a home run, even an improvement over 5, because Insidious, the Red Door, wasn't the greatest thing, but it also wasn't a complete turd. Now, let's end this video by talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer. Entertainment Tonight asked Jennifer Love Hewitt, what do we have to do to get that I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel? And she simply said, you gotta ask Sony about that. And all I can say in response to that is, I think we'll be asking Sony for that for quite a while. I just do not think that's a priority for them. I think they would have announced it by now. Granted, you could argue, well, they did take a minute to announce Final Destination 7. Fair. But even prior to Final Destination 7 being announced, you know what was different? So many people, reputable trades, Bloody Disgusting, were kind of already aware of the fact, given how successful it was at the box office and critically, that it's all but confirmed. We didn't need them to come out and say it. It was just like a waiting game. We knew it was going to happen. With this one, it's a little bit harder, because while it did fare pretty well against all the heavy hitters it was sandwiched between, it still didn't cross 100 million. And I'd imagine the next iteration, the next follow-up, if you're going to have Brandy back in a leading role with Jennifer Love Hewitt, Chase Wonders, Madeline Klein, and potentially doing an even more elaborate plot, bigger budget, you're going to have to pay out more for the stars that are leading. And Sony might be saying, hey, wait a minute, this couldn't even cross 100 million. Why do we want to put out more for a movie that couldn't even cross 100 million? They might not think it's a good return on investment. But I remain hopeful that something will come from this, and we'll get to see some sort of follow-up to what Jen gave us this summer, because I thought it was a pretty good movie. Was it perfect? No, and I pointed out the flaws, but some people just do not like that I didn't seemingly dog walk it like they did. But you guys, let me know what you think about all this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notification, and never miss a video. In the description, I have links to all my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there, of course, to let me know if there are any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.